Today I'm going to be talking about two hot stocks, Ford and Tesla. I'll be talking mainly about Ford and comparing it to Tesla to some degree. Let's look at these two hot stocks. This is not financial advice. This video is for entertainment only. The hot stock I'm adding today is Ford. I'm also adding Tesla, which I've owned a long term, but I think a person would do well to get back into it since it's held its same value for a while. And if they ever get full self-driving, it will explode. And so basically I'm holding it and will add to it if they get full self-driving. To see the full list of hot stocks to add on a pullback, go to the end of this video. I've talked about these stocks in previous videos, and you want to check them out because when the market pulls back, as it eventually and always does, you'll want to investigate this list and look at the videos. Always remember, this isn't financial advice. This is just what I'm doing. Ford showed that it finally is getting serious about being an electric vehicle manufacturer. They are going to spend $35 billion on electric vehicles. Their introduction of their muscle car as the Mustang Mach-E electric vehicle showed that they are truly serious. It is the second best-selling electric SUV in the United States right now. Ford's electric F-150 Lightning pickup is sure to be a hit, as it already has 120,000 reservations. The Ford CEO recently bragged that their electric vehicles were bringing in 70% new customers to their brand. And they continue to make money off of their ICE vehicles. Their 5-passenger Maverick gets 40 miles to the gallon, so it at least is somewhat environmentally conscious. All their electric Mustang Mach-E's are sold out. Sandy Munro, who's an expert in autos, tore the Mustang Mach-E apart and noticed that it was not as good as the Tesla by any stretch of the imagination, but it was much better than any other American electric vehicle that he had examined. These General Motors Ultium batteries, they think will be able to give their vehicles a range of 400 miles or more. Both Ford and GM talk about the chip shortage and possible battery shortages being problems for them. This is likely to be less of a problem for Tesla. Tesla likes to do everything on its own. I mean, Tesla's even mining for lithium. Also, Tesla has a factory in China. China has 10 times more battery companies than the United States does. So Tesla, they could make cars in China and ship them out elsewhere if worse came to worse. Tesla just seems to have a much more organization and much more do-it-themselves as far as making their own chip, even with their artificial intelligence for their self-driving car and so forth. That Tesla just seems much more capable on this front and is much less likely to have problems on that front. When talking about these companies, the question always comes down to valuation. We want to remember that Ford sold 4.2 million cars last year and is valued at $60 billion about. Tesla, they sold 500,000 cars and they're valued at over 600 billion. So literally Tesla's valued at roughly 10 times more than Ford. So Ford might be the better buy in many ways, especially with their converting to the electric vehicles. Recently, Ford has been talking about a ride-hailing service with Lyft, where they would have the cars be autonomous. I don't know whether that's through their own network, but they claim that it will be autonomous. They still will have people in the driver's seat to be safety drivers to take over in case a problem. So they're not going to be truly fully self-driving. But it's interesting that they've forged this ride-hailing service with Lyft that's going to go into effect at some point in the future. Ford has always had a reputation with the Ford F-150 pickup, and it becoming electric, it becomes a much easier sell for people that have always driven their pickups to convert to a electric pickup. But in many ways, Ford is beating Tesla to the punch. Tesla's Cybertruck is turning out to be quite a manufacturing challenge. It probably won't be in mass production until like the end of 2022. It is virtually always a mistake to underestimate Elon Musk. The idea that you could have an electric car was ridiculous before Musk put it to the test. And I don't think Tesla gets as much credit as it should. I mean, I bought a Model S, a 2021 long-range Model S Tesla, and I didn't realize that car would be as fast as a Lamborghini. Now, I didn't pay as much as someone buying a Lamborghini would, but I will beat a Lamborghini if I ever race in traffic, which I never do anyway. But it's interesting that I got much more than I expected. Tesla right now is hanging out in the 700s. The wild card with Tesla, and what's going to give it another 21-day run, which is so famous for, these wild 21-day runs where it just goes to the moon. I don't want to say Tesla, if they can get full self-driving, the stock will not only go to the moon, it will go to Mars. If they go to full self-driving, it may go to Jupiter. I would expect the price to go from 700 to 2,000 a share, and I would be a buyer all the way up to 1,500. Tesla getting full self-driving would allow them to have robo-taxis, which would literally be a whole new avenue of profitability for them. Tesla has announced that they're going to open up their charging network to all EVs, which I think is very positive for Tesla, and I think will be positive for General Motors and Ford too, because they won't have to develop their own charging network. And let's face it, Tesla's going to do the best job of having a charging network. So let's just all agree that Tesla is the one to handle this. They know how to handle things. They have the best engineers. They will do the best job, and they will benefit from other companies using their charging networks, and those companies will benefit also. So it's a win-win for everyone. And there's room for more than one winner in this space. And I think the United States is very fortunate to have both Tesla and Ford. And I think General Motors is coming along, and especially with their Ultium battery, I can see why that stock has gone up a lot as well. If we look at the chart on Ford, we can see that it's doubled in the last year from around $7 to over 14, and it went up to 16, and it's come back lately, and it's gone below 14. I would buy it if you can get it below 14. I think it's going through a little bit of a rough patch technically here, but I think it's going to come out of that. And as we get past the Delta virus, and things settle down with that, which I think it will, because they can change these vaccines to accommodate the Delta variant. Pfizer can anyway. So I think they will get it stopped. It's just a matter of time. And I think that's when both Tesla and Ford take off. And I think they'll be complementary to one another. Of course, I'm only describing what I may do, and this is not financial advice. If we look at a chart of comparing GM to Ford and Tesla, we can see that Ford and General Motors have basically doubled, and Tesla's gone up 140%. They haven't done much since the beginning of this year, simply because their valuation had gone up so much that they literally have to catch up to their valuation. And they got so many things on the back burner right now. Their Cybertruck and Semi have been delayed to 2022, and they're building factories, gigafactories everywhere, it seems. They're getting their Austin, Texas factory going, and also ramping up production in China and so forth. Tesla has so much on its plate and they are delivering, and they're going to deliver. There's no question that Tesla will go up more in the future. It's just how much more. I think the big wild card is the full self-driving. That'll change. I think if they get full self-driving, that will be the difference between having a flat screen TV like we have now and compared to TVs of the 1970s that were a cathode ray tube. I think it'll be that revolutionary. So check out this list. They're likely to go to the moon, and Tesla's likely to go to Mars. If this information has been helpful, please like and subscribe. You might want to hit that notification bell to receive future videos on hot stocks to buy on a pullback.